Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've restocked my freezer, although this time I'm not going to restock it like all at once. I'll do the things that I think that we need, that I know that we consume. It's been a while. So we're going to start with pastry, and I'm going to do it my way this time, which is I started off with measuring 300 grams of butter. Um, I should say I'm following a recipe, but I'm doing it my way because previously I did the same recipe and then it was so oily. I don't know, it was just too much butter. So I'm going to do it my way and see how it goes. And this is what they call the barrage, I think. I think I'm calling it the correct way or what, which is the butter. It is 1 cup of flour and 300 grams of butter. This is the one that I'm doing my way. It was so cold, it wasn't easy for me to work with butter. Butter is not the same as margarine. Margarine, when it gets when you touch it a couple of times, it gets softer. Butter, it's another thing. So I'm going to start with that. I mixed 1 cup of flour with 300 grams of butter. The recipe that I'm following called for more butter. I'm choosing not to because I want to see how it's going to be when I'm doing this, because previously I did use the same butter, the amount of butter that they requested, and I thought it was too oily. So once that was mixed, I'm going to shape it or roll it into a flat form. I'm using a baking paper as my measurements. I think that's what I want to roll it into, so it's easier for me to do that. And once that is done, I'm going to put it in a fridge for a little while I'm working on the dough. While the butter is in the fridge, I'm going to do the dough, or the detreme. The detreme. It's French, whatever it is. So I'm going to do 4 cups of flour, and then I'm doing 150 grams of butter, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then about a cup of cool water and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And again, I'm still going to work this because it is cold, though the recipe calls for a very cold batter still, but this is cold. It's cold. It's difficult to work because I'm using my hand. It's not the same as if I was using a mixer, so it's quite a bit difficult for me to work with, but we're gonna work it. We are going to work it until we get it to the point that we want. Another thing that the recipe calls for is to let the dough chill in the fridge for 2 hours or so before you start working in the butter. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I want to see what will happen when I don't do that, because rolling a cold dough can be difficult, especially on that first row, you know. So after mixing the dough, I went ahead and took out my butter from the fridge, and I decided that I'm not going to edit this. I want to show you guys what happens when I do things my way. Personally, I call this the recipe building or creation, because I'm taking someone's recipe and then I'm going to do it my way, therefore making it something that works for me. It doesn't always work out the way I want it to work out, and it's not always pretty. That's another thing. It's not always pretty, but I told myself that I want to incorporate it into the dough while the dough is still soft, and then I will let it chill in the fridge together, because the method that they are saying we must use when you make dough, I know they must have a reason for that, but man, it makes life difficult, especially if you are using your hands. You are not using a mixture, a mixer, or you don't have a pasta machine. It's difficult. So I want to see what will happen if I don't do that way, that I'm doing it my way, because listen, I'm trying to simplify my life. This is another day. The following day, I let the pastry sleep in the fridge, and then we are going to start rolling it again. We will do 2 folds just like we did yesterday. We will do 2 folds and let it sit in the fridge again for another 2 hours. Next on the list will be me making scones that I'm going to freeze. I'll just bake 1 pan or so for us to eat, and then I'm going to freeze. These ones are cranberry scones. I'm not gonna give out the recipe or say much about it because I think we have done or we have made way too many scones on this channel. So if you're looking for scones recipe, kindly go scroll through the videos. You'll find the scones recipe there. Although on this one I did do 16 cups. I wanted to get more so that I can be able to have some in the freeze, some that we can eat over time, and one of the reasons, if you are new here, you're probably not going to understand. One of the reasons that I do things, that I make things and freeze them, honestly, is portion control. Because previously in my house I would make 2.5 kg worth of 2.5 kg flour. I would make scones from that. When I tell you that they will be done in 4 to 5 days, you know what? So I realized that when I make scones, they are eaten way too quickly, and that is a lot of sugar that is consumed quick, like at one go. I would say at one go. So I'm trying to control the portions, because if we're craving for them, we will just bake 1 pan, instead of having them lying around. It will be 1 pan. We will have tea, and then once that is done, then it's done. Do you understand? But knowing that within the month or next month or after another month, if we are craving some still, there's still another pan or two for us to get, that we can be able to bake for that time, instead of me baking them and they're eating at a go. Things are expensive now, guys. We can't just eat anyhow. The scones are in the freezer now, so we're going to start on making meatballs. In my bowl there it's 1 kg of minced meat, and I did a couple of garlic cloves with 1 onion, and I'm going to add 2 eggs, and I will add about quarter of flour, and I'm adding chicken spice. My new favorite is chicken spice for now. And then I added parsley and paprika, and then onion powder, garlic powder, and top class seasoning. That's all I added, and it was really, really, really delicious. So I don't always use salty spices on my food, like the chicken spice, your barbecue, whatever. I don't do that, but sometimes I do use them. But I make sure to get a small pack because I don't want it to be part of my cooking every day, because I'm trying to reduce the amount of salt that we take. And I know someone is going to say, but your seasoning, top class seasoning, it's salty, what. For now, I can deal with that. I just don't want to add on more salt like the spices. I'm not going to add that on. So after mixing everything together, I'm now going to measure them using ice cream scoop, just to make sure that everything is of the same size, and it's going to look somewhat uniformed, and this is going to be frozen as well. It's still the same day, and it's after a few hours with my pastry in the fridge. I'm now going to roll it again and roll it twice, fold it twice, just to make sure that we're creating those, lines or whatever that makes the puff. So for now, I'm going to roll it 2 times again and then put it in the fridge. I'm going to use it the following day. This is the 3rd day me working kwa pastry. This was a workout. So I'm going to roll it as far as I can so that I can get enough pies out of it. So it's gonna take a while, but this was the last day, basically the 3rd day, and I'm happy with how it came out. I feel like it was easy for me to work with. It looked like, it was pastry. If there's a bit of tweaking that needs to be done, I'll definitely do, but so far so good. I'm happy how it came out. This is how far I stretched the dough or rolled the dough. I could have done a little bit more, but that's okay. I was able to get about 13 pies from this. I was happy with the number, and then I'm going to add on the filling on top. I cooked it yesterday, let it cool because I didn't want the sauce to run, but it was still running on some pies. And then I'm brushing it with egg wash on the side to be able to close it properly when I close it. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for clicking onto this video. Thank you for always coming back. Don't forget to share the video with your friends, family, and everyone that you know. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.